Hello lovelies, let's go ahead and recap the last video. Me and my friend Taj, we finally made it out to South Carolina. I got to play around at the Welcome Center. We stopped at Sergeant Jasper Park and got to view the scenery and walk some of the trails, and we also learned that man car equals truck and that South Carolina also has alligators. They also have a lot of communities popping up down there, and Bigfoot is there. We also went to Edgar Landing, where I conquered a fear involuntarily. I got to see boats go into the water, and we also discovered that I can't take pictures. So now we are on our way to Paris Island, which is a Marine base. I'm a Navy brat, so I've never been on a Marine base, and we're going to go check that out. And you do need someone to get you on there if you have no military connection, point blank. So once we get on there, we drive around to see what we can see. And obviously, this whole tree canopy thing is, I think it's everywhere in South Carolina because you can't get away from it. And you'll see later on in this video. But we drove around to see what we could see. It wasn't really too much to see, but I just thought that this little thing was cool. We did happen to see some Marines outside, and these happen to be all women, which I thought was very cool. And that was literally it to see. There was nothing else to see. A Navy base is more exciting, in my opinion, than the Marine base. So now we're leaving Paris Island. Next stop, Beaufort, the final destination. So we're not in Beaufort yet, but we're still driving from Paris Island to Beaufort, which is a few minutes. But I wanted to show you the next big tree canopy street that we're going down. These things would be really creepy at night. And this is the bridge that you go over, and it goes straight into Beaufort. Those buildings down there in the center, that's Beaufort. So if you don't like bridges, this is not the bridge for you to go over, because it reminded me of like a popsicle stick bridge. Right down there is the historic district, but we go ahead and bypass that and go straight to a park. We arrive at the park, and Nyla gets out and loses her mind a little bit, and I go take a seat. Made it to Beaufort, South Carolina. It is a very pretty day. We found a park to come to, and I don't remember the name, but my friend Taj found this lovely bench to sit on, and I'll put a picture up of it. Or you put your feet on it and it swings it for you. You swing it with your feet instead of like a regular bench. So I sat out here, I ate my public sub. Now I'm just chilling. There's a big tree in front of me too. I'm not good with categorizing trees, so I don't know what kind of tree it is. It's absolutely beautiful. I'll put pictures up of that too. You probably hear me swinging. Taj is walking Nyla. Nyla is the puppy. It's been in my pictures. I don't know where he is. I can't see. I literally see lots of green and brown. I hear kids off in the distance. There's like a park in front of me somewhere behind these trees and stuff. And then there's houses. I'll pan around. There's houses like all around. This is a nice, quiet little neighborhood. This park is freaking awesome. Beaufort, South Carolina. Check. Didn't even need to take out my cane this trip. And I had a new rolling tip I wanted to try, but I had my trusty dusty sided guide with me, so He didn't let me get hurt. Literally, I could sit here for the rest of the doggone day. But you know, I'm not gonna do that. I'm about to walk the path at this park before we leave. Bushes, greenery, big circle, Nyla, Taj. Let's go. Okay, so I wanted you to see this park. This park is literally divided into sections by age groups. There's like 6 or 7 sections, and they divide them up by age group for the kids. It's like a kid community. It's so neat. It's so pretty. This is awesome. After we left the park, we left right after this, and we went back down to the historic district, but everything was closed because we did so much other stuff. So we went ahead and stopped at another boat dock, snapped some pics, looked at some things, and then we headed on out of Beaufort. So on the way out of Beaufort, we were heading towards Ladies Island, and I decided, you know what, I need to get an alcoholic beverage to take back home from South Carolina. So we stopped at Bill's Liquors and picked up South Carolina whiskey. How awesome is that? And it was delicious. Our trip's coming to an end, and we're exiting Beaufort. Well, actually, Beaufort's so small. I think we're already out of it. But we're leaving now. It was great. If you're into hometown things and parks and historical buildings and beaches, scenery, I definitely have the place for you to go on this road. Nyla, you ready? We're ready. So now that we're on our way home, riding off into the sunset, Taj has a wonderful idea. Let's make a pit stop. So I say, okay. And we went for a pit stop. So Savannah, Georgia was alive. There were old people, young people, children, families, college folks. It was everybody, and everybody was everywhere. But I will say one thing, that if you do have visual problems, please be careful where you walk, because there are a lot of corners and places that don't have a bump pad, or there's no indication that you're walking into the street. It just the sidewalk just kind of disappears, and you don't really feel it, because I did that once or twice. So we drove around seeing what all was happening, and then we went through the neighborhoods and drove through the neighborhoods. These homes are beautifully constructed. I would never live here myself, but they are beautifully constructed. They're nice to look at, only in my opinion, because these homes look like the homes off of The Stir of Echoes. If you've ever seen that movie, The Stir of Echoes, I don't care what you say, this is where it happened, right here. Scary. So, but they're absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, like, they're all beautiful. So we go down one more street, and I thought this was nice to look at. After this, we did park, and we got out and we walked around. That's when I walked into the street a couple times. So these first sets of pictures is a church. We couldn't see the whole thing because it was too dark, but that's the plaque that was on the church. In this church, I got it from the front and the back because it was well lit. That's where I walked in the street. This statue, you can't see the top of it, but that man is on that statue. I had to research that. And we have our Stir Echo houses right here. Here's some more. Very beautiful. At this point, my eyes are exhausted. It's time to go home. I can't see anything. We finally made it home, safe and sound, from Beaufort and Savannah. And now we're gonna rest. So who knows where we're going next?